the side, ref.
Matt, let's get to the main event, the big game. I'm saying the big game because we are biased, but I mean, we only played Georgia. I'm saying only played Georgia because the Georgians,
play to them.
They pitched up. They were really competitive.
They are a big bunch of buggers, right? They always have been. They're always a formidable pack. Like, if the Georgian national rugby team was on the piss, you'd want to not be in the same pub. Because if they got a few largers into them and then you bumped one of them by mistake, there's a lot.
No, they're big boys.
They are big lads, and I know, like, we're big. There's a lot of big nations, but those Georgians are just thick set and stocky.
No, and I mean, for a long period, you called it when we were watching the game. You said, we'll be competitive. They'll be competitive for about 60 minutes, and then the game will, get taken away from them. And it was pretty much the case. Like, they really made life difficult for us. They were like Italy, very scrappy at the breakdown. They disrupted a lot of our momentum. Full credit to them. I think the scoreline flattered us a little bit. I think Georgia was better value than conceding those 55 points. I think fitness told in the end on the high felt in Nelspruit. I think it probably got to them.
We were a bit scrappy as well.
But scoring that first try, now it is worrying because the maul is one of our strengths, and we conceded a maul try against Italy and another one against Georgia.
They're big boys, man.
That doesn't bode well, mate, because we should back ourselves to defend those. To be honest, I still don't think it was a try. He scored it short, and then he was held up over the line. But in any case, they gave it. We'll give it to them.
You, and on the scorecard it says your name against that try. So good
Absolutely, luck. Yeah. And again, my guy David Niniashvili had a solid game at fullback. We didn't get to see his razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
We nullified a lot of that in defence, but it was good to see him in action.
And I just want to make a point on that. I know that we talked about the pushover try, but there's been a consistent theme throughout all these games against Italy and Georgia, and our defense was outstanding. Like, we are really solid in defense. We have a few slip-ups here and there, but holding Italy rather to a nil scoreline, even when we had about 13 people on the field the week before, and then the scoreline again very low, shows a good defensive effort on our part.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we did keep them. They could have scored one or two more tries, and on attack, I think we were a little bit more polished. I like the team that Rassie picked. I like that he's giving Kane and Moody a lot more game time in the midfield. Yeah. I am a fan. After that showing he put in against the All Blacks at Twickenham in 2023, I thought this is going to be his position. This is where he's going to take over from Jesse, take over from he's the next guy in line.
It's very similar to me to a Rico Ioane convert from wing to centre.
I don't think he's got the out and out pace of a winger, but he's got enough. He's like a Tano Moga, Rico Ioane type convert moving from wing to centre, but he's got all the skills, mate. And if you see the try he scored when he ran over the other liner against Italy, and then the one again he scored on Saturday. He worked, the determination he put in to score those tries.
He's a strong boy.
He's only 22 still, so he's got a long future. So I thought Kanan was really good. I think apart from Sasha's kicking for post, which we don't know, every single kicker's got an off day. He kicked one from 5, but he had an okay game all round.
I saw Rusty saying that he didn't want to make an excuse for him, but in the warm up he got a little tweak.
Yeah,
and they were debating whether or not he should play on or not. He said he wanted to play, so he did, and that might have been impacting on his kicking. At the end of the day, everyone has an off day.
The one thing I know about Sasha is he'll fix it within one game. So if he starts the next one, he'll kick 6 from 6. He's that type of player with BMT.
He's got a lot of self-belief, and I think you see it in the way that he plays. The audacious stepping in the 22 to make a yard or two and then make a break, or the audacious passes that he makes. There's no lack of self-belief, and
he's got confidence.
I was watching Finn Russell talk about his kicking in the Lions game, and he kicked outstandingly. I think he kicked 6 from 6 or something, and he was saying if you'd spoken to me before the game, I was having a shocker in warm-up. And it was Faz who turned to him and said, mate, just take an extra second in your warm-up, just in your lead-up. And just because sometimes you miss one kick and then you start to think through the processes more rapidly. You're trying to overcorrect. you're going through it quicker, and actually your whole process goes out the window.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's better to take a step back than a step forward. And I think that might have been the case with a young Sasha on the weekend, where he's missed one that's uncharacteristic, and he tried to overcorrect, and it's just put him off his kilter.
Yeah, no, but he'll come back stronger. That I've no doubt. Some other experiments that I think worked for Rassie on the weekend is the new front row. I think Neetling Fischer did his job. He was relatively quiet, and not because he didn't get on the score sheet, but Boan Venter and Marinus van der Merwe can be really, really happy with their debuts.
Yep.
Lesser known players in South African circles because they both play for overseas clubs, but I think they can be very proud of their debuts. And the one that really impressed me was Cobus Wiese at number 8.
Yeah.
Like he's the new Donnie Rousseau and Mark Andrews, mate, because he plays lock and blindside most of the time, right? He was brought into the squad,
but he can play 8.
Yeah, he was brought into the squad because Rassie thinks he is the next Peter Steff, and he can carry that mantle, if he's got the engine on him. But at number 8, I thought he had a decent game. Again, carried the ball strong, made his tackles. It was all over the place.
I'd be pissed off if I was Evan Roos or
Jean-Luc
Depree, who were both selected for backup at 8, and obviously then a makeshift new 8 gets repositioned in. And again, these are the kind of try before you buy tests. These are where Rassie and his team get to throw in the odd combination or try a new person out of position and see if it works. On this occasion, 100% justified, and it proved that we've got another option for that 8 position.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another player who just, again, we said it after last week's game, but he put his hand up and he cemented himself as the first choice number 9, Grant
100%.
Williams.
100%.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be his backup, to be honest, because Faf, I think, had a really good game when
he came on. He
against Italy, I thought, Faf, maybe you've had your best days. But again, he brought new energy into the side. It was great to see him partner again with Pollard. Pollard looked refreshed, energetic, ready to play, zero pressure on his shoulders. So they looked really good. So Faf's still in the mix. Reinach is still in the mix.
Yeah.
Morne van den Berg still in the mix. But I think out of all of them, the guy that I'm currently the most impressed with is Grant Williams.
Without a doubt. I love his energy. I love the pace at which he gets to a breakdown. He takes us. So we were debating this with a Kiwi friend on the weekend, or at least an All Black supporter friend on the weekend, because everyone who's watched the show will know that I've given a lot of stick to Tomas Williams for Wales about how he picks up the ball, takes a step towards the fly half, which then gives the opposition time to move past the gain line, and then obviously they tackle him behind the gain line, and it takes all the momentum away. Grant Williams does that as well. He picks up the ball, but his step is a step forward. He's looking to make, a bit like Joost used to do, looking to make a bit of a dart around the fringes, and he doesn't let the opposition come onto our fly half. He's making space for the fly half. So I think there's a subtle variance there, but I think his pace helps him to do that.
That's the thing. He's so quick. He's so quick off the mark that you hardly even feel the impact of that sidestep.
And because of how quick he is, he's at the breakdown super fast. And when he needs to, he's putting the ball into the fly half hands. He's coming onto the ball, and we're keeping the opposition, on the back foot. So, for me, like you, he's our choice number 9.
Yeah.
Really good centre pairings. Damien, again, I think did really well.
Solid without being flashy, but he did his job. You know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, and then our wings were as they are.
Ed Will, mate. What a legend.
Yeah.
What is it? 5 tries from 3 tests now. Made his debut very late for the Springboks, but it's so great to see him as part of the mix, and to have that depth at wing. Curtly, I mean, he was electric as always.
Solid.
Scored another great try with that inside scissor step.
And Apelele Fassi at 15.
Solid, yeah. Didn't set the world alight again, but he was between him and Damian Willems, so they're going to take us to the next World Cup without a doubt. So it's going to be interesting, because last time we spoke about the Springboks, I made the comment to say, when do you start finding this balance between giving everyone a run to see will they make it at international level and building continuity with your core players? And now this week I saw Rassie saying, we're going to take a bit of a break. We're back in 3 weeks to play the Aussies, or 4 weeks to play the Aussies. But he's gonna shrink that team down to about
33, 36?
Yeah, 35 players probably is what he's going to pick. And we'll see more consistency in that team selection. And Russie actually made the comment, don't know if he watches the show, I doubt it, but he also said, no, the experiment's over. Like, we experimented enough now. We're going to pick a core team. One or two guys might be interchanged in and out, like a Pollard and a Sasha, or a Faf and a Grant Williams. But for the most part, the core, the spine of that team, he wants to build consistency. And I know Russie. He won't say it now because our next test is Australia. But he's thinking of Eden Park on the 13th of September. He's thinking Ireland in Dublin, and he's thinking France in Paris.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 tests we have to win this year, because that sends a very clear message to the rest of the world. So I'm a big fan of it. He still has a big squad, but I like the fact that he says, okay, let's get some combinations going and get some continuity going. I'm all for it.
And I appreciate that we've played a second-tier team selection over the last 4 games, right? So we did the Barbars first, 2 or 3 against Italy, and then 2 against Italy, and then the last one against Georgia. So for the last 4 games, they've been subpar teams, right, in comparison to who we would want to test ourselves against. But they're a good setup for those future tests that we're going to see later in the year, like you just described. And I think we should smash all of them. So,
that's a bold statement.
Yeah, but I think we should.
If we do, I mean, then it's undeniable who the best team on the planet is.
If you're in the opposition camps of any one of those teams and you get a win in the upcoming tests, you know that they'll be bragging about how they beat the world champions. Because the other side of that is we keep going, we're the world champions.
Yeah, we've got a target on our backs.
We've got a target on our backs, and everyone wants to beat us. And so when they do, they'll be happy as Larry. But the other side of that coin is, I think that we can go there with the squad, with the depth, with the consistency of winnings that we've got, the momentum that we take into that, the kind of winning mentality that we've now built, which is so key and crucial. These players believe in themselves. From 1 to 23 and beyond into the 36-man or 35. Whoever's selected is world-class and is able to take it to any team out there. Yeah. So it's not a far stretch to say that we have the capability to win every single one of those tests.
Yeah, I predict the Springboks to win 5 out of 6 in the Rugby Championship. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be interesting. Let's end the show on a high, Matt. I have to mention this. I'm so proud and so happy for you. For the first time in 36 years, the Zimbabwean Sables have qualified for the Rugby World Cup.
Cheers.
That is awesome, mate. I can't name one of the players.
Well done,
but
Sables.
I know the last time they played in 1991, a big friend of the channel, Adrian Garvey, was still playing for Zimbabwe. So it must be a big moment for him. The likes of Richard Timber, Kennedy Timber's older brother, he made a big name playing for Zimbabwe in the 1987 World Cup. Mate, it's massive. I don't think people realize. Like, Namibia's out, Zimbabwe's in. It's going to be awesome to see them in Australia in 2027.
And credit to the boys. I think also credit to the coaching staff. In particular, I want to give a shout out to Pete Bernardi. Pete is an ex-PE boy. He was fly half at PE and then went down SA and played provincially there. And he's now in part of the coaching setup in the Sables. I think a lot of the kind of successes that they're having is built around the leadership and the administration getting involved, and obviously having a really good select bunch of players. But fair play to them. We're going to see them on the global stage of the next World Cup.
It's going to be awesome.
So well done, boys.
Okay, so another cheers that we have to just give quickly is to the Junior Booker, the South African under-20s. Absolutely unbelievable rugby that they've been playing, not just in the final, but the whole tournament. They set the world alight after having an indifferent under-20 rugby championship. I don't know what happened in that team, but they gelled, and Riley Norton and the boys have just been playing absolutely unbelievable rugby. I see 6 of the junior Springbok team has been included in the Bulls Currie Cup squad already, so they're already making headway.
Johan Ackerman was like, "You boys, we work together well. Come along with me."
And you're going to see some of these names coming through in the next couple of years. Malchus at centre, he didn't play in the final, but he impressed me really in the pool games. Fantastic to see. I think the folks in New Zealand must really hate us, because 2023 World Cup final, the Springboks beat the All Blacks. 2025 Under-20 final, South Africa beats New Zealand.
Blacks, yeah.
In the last Sevens tournament in Los Angeles in May, South Africa beat New Zealand in the final. So it's the last three finals we played, we beat New Zealand in big tournaments.
South Africa are currently 15s, 7s, and under 20s.
Well, okay, just a caveat on the 7s. We won the last tournament, but we didn't win the whole series, right? So,
we won the last tournament.
But the last tournament we did win in Los Angeles. So just fantastic. I mean, South African rugby's never been stronger.
Correct. And to the New Zealanders, 2 is not a winner and 3 nobody remembers.
Oof, ouch. And on that note, Matt, let's end it there. Good to be a South African rugby supporter.
Good to be a South African sports supporter of any description at the moment. We've got great rugby, good rugby set up in the juniors coming through the grassroots.
World champions in Test cricket. World's strongest man.
Exactly. It's a good time to. And if we could just get a lot of the funds that are being embezzled by the government back into sports, we'd be happy.
Well, Gayton McKenzie seems to be doing a good job, so I'm a big fan.
He does seem to be doing a great job. I'm a big fan of Gayton McKenzie as well. Such a character. He seems to be shaking things up. And again, I'm not talking about individuals, but it's widely regarded and widely known that there's some embezzlement happening within government there. And so if we can sort that out, sort the country out, but definitely from a sports perspective, we've got a lot of things sorted out. So we're very happy to be sports fans through and through.
So no Bokke this weekend. We're going to take a bit of a break, but we will chat about the Lions and the second test and see how they go. Yeah. So we'll do this again next week.
And we've got our show. So if you haven't tuned in, we've got our Mount Rushmore show. Have a look at that. Like us on all the socials. Keep watching. Keep commenting. We love it.
Cheers.
Cheers.